a very contagious virus can be devastating for your health, but it can be devastating for the local tourism industry as well. I'm Annie Johnson, and I'll have the full story coming up.
Could warmer weather slow the spread of the coronavirus? I'm Ian Lee with what scientists are saying.
Happy Friday, Southwest Montana. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell from our studio in the ambulance going by Ian Lee there. From the main studio in Tropical Four Corners, Caitlin Corbett live from Studio 47B this morning. That's what we've now labeled your bedroom.
That's what we'll call it.
47B.
I like it.
I don't know.
I'm going to write it down.
There you go.
All right. Hey, let's talk temperatures this morning. Crisp but nice morning right now into the teens and 20s for most of the area. West Yellowstone, the Big Goose Egg, 0 our current temperature there. Mainly quiet conditions. Beautiful sunrise this morning. Hope you can get outside and take a look at it. Yes, I'm talking to you too, Caitlin, in 47B. Temperatures topping out in the 50s today. We're going to talk more about what you can expect for the weekend. It does include a few showers. We'll break it all down for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Time now is 6:30. Another person in Toole County has died due to COVID-19, bringing the state's death toll up to 8. 4 of those now in Toole County.
Yeah, State Department of Health now has 415 confirmed cases in the state of Montana, 11 new cases from the day before. Missoula and Yellowstone County both reporting 3 new cases each. Gallatin County now listed at 141 cases. Silver Bow County remains at 11. 218 people have recovered from that virus, and more than 9,900 tests have been completed.
Meantime, spring and early summer bookings may be plummeting for the Montana tourism industry, but researchers for the Institute for Tourism and Recreation Research at the University of Montana tell MTN's Dennis Bragg there could be some help from right here in Montana.
In recent years, the boom in travelers flying to Montana for a taste of the outdoors has been one of the real bright spots, helping the state's tourism sector generate a record $3.7 billion last year. But the pandemic has parked most of those planes.
The airline industry is going to be the one that's going to lag the most. So those visitors that are coming via air travel are going to be the ones that are slowest to resume.
Nobody is booking. So then you have the airlines trying to figure out, well, how many planes do we then send to each of these communities? So it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a really interesting way in which they're trying to model that consumer who's finally ready to get on an airplane. So then how many planes do we send to Missoula or to Bozeman or to Kalispell?
While there are questions in the air, the answers might be on the ground. For small communities like Darby that depend on the tourist trade through the summer months, there is some feeling of optimism. It's driven largely by the old standby, in-state tourism. In fact, some businesses are already adjusting, putting out the welcome mat as marketers shift their message, targeting travelers within a couple of days' drive.
We are all going to be a little cooped up. We're going to be ready to get out and do some things after we're out of this. And so we're going to be also looking at a drive market. That's who we're going to be talking to. And that includes Montanans.
I think we're all itching to get out and go do something. So there's some latent demand that's sitting out there waiting to be taken. And that might be that drive market where like, oh, we're going to go to Montana.
This may be where Montanans can really make a difference by spending those vacation dollars that they may have left, or stimulus dollars or whatever it is, right here in the state, right?
Right, and as we think about what Montana might be as far as a drive market, that this study does include Montanans driving about their own state as well.
We are definitely a traveling group within Montana already, and I think that'll continue, and it'll be a good thing. It just doesn't create economic boom for the state, but it doesn't create a loss.
In Darby, Dennis Bragg, MTN News.
And the researchers say it's too soon to know whether falling gas prices might also make Montana a more desirable vacation destination, especially for Northwest travelers this summer. There are also factors like how much discretionary spending vacationers may have this year and the depth and length of the recession.
Now, MTN's Annie Johnson takes a look at how the pandemic is spilling over into the local tourism industry.
Tourism is a big part of the local economy here in Bozeman, but for other smaller neighboring areas, it can make or break their local economy. And with everything going on with this pandemic, it can be a huge hit to the tourism industry.
We are now planning not to open until May 15th at the earliest. Normally, we're open by the last week in April.
The owner of El Western Cabins and Lodges in Ennis is experiencing what so many other business owners in the tourism industry are facing: cancellation after cancellation.
The refunds started going out right around the middle of March, and they haven't stopped. We haven't taken any new reservations for at least 2 weeks.
And the effects trickle down to the residents. In Bozeman, it could mean higher prices.
It will mean higher taxes down the road, because the less businesses you have open, the less property tax you have coming in. Those things all have multitude effects that are coming in.
For communities who rely on tourism from Yellowstone, the damage can be devastating.
What we expect will be absolutely predicated on when Yellowstone is able to open. The issue will be how fast that can happen, and the extent to which it can reopen.
And time is crucial, because a lot of tourism businesses only have a couple of months during the year to operate.
You're looking at a lot of businesses that really make their money and living between June, July, August, and September.
And with stay-at-home orders being extended across the country, this pandemic could have lasting effects on the tourism industry. Reporting in and around Bozeman, Annie Johnson, MTN News.
Time now is 6:35. We're going to switch things up a bit. A federal judge in Great Falls dealt a blow to the construction of the Keystone XL pipeline. The judge vacated TC Energy's permit, ruling that an environmental assessment of where the pipeline would cross the Yellowstone and Cheyenne rivers wasn't thorough enough. The permit could be reinstated if a new environmental impact statement is completed. Originally, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers determined there would be no significant impact to the area, but the judge sided with the Northern Plains Resource Council, who filed the suit, claiming that study was flawed.
In other headlines this morning, the Montana Board of Regents temporarily adjusting admission requirements for public universities to help students who are impacted by COVID-19. The board held a conference call yesterday where it agreed to waive the requirement that all students applying to a four-year university submit an ACT or an SAT score. Now, that change would also let students prove proficiency in math and writing through their grade point average instead of a standardized test. These adjustments would apply through September of 2021. Leaders say it strikes a balance between maintaining quality, making sure all students have access.
We pride ourselves on being an open access state. It's one of our key priorities as a system. However, we want to make sure students are prepared. And I believe that this method of applying to our campuses still meets that commitment to college preparation.
By the way, students will still need ACT or SAT scores in order to qualify for some state merit scholarships. State leaders are planning to offer ACT to all students next fall.
6:37 now. Many hope that this summer will be a reprieve from the coronavirus. CBS's Ian Lee is in London with a look at what scientists are predicting.
Locked in quarantine, you may be fantasizing about summer, tanning in the sun, or taking a dip in the sea. But a big question remains. As the weather warms up, will the coronavirus pandemic wind down?
I hope so, at least, yeah. I think it'll be cause for celebration if it does start to die down.
Scientists are divided. Some believe the heat won't matter.
These viruses, and this one, are not so mindful of time of year. They care much more about whether there are susceptible humans close enough together for it to jump from one to the next, to the next, to the next.
Others point to a study at University of Hong Kong that found the virus deteriorated over time when stored in a lab at 72 degrees. Evidence from similar viruses also suggests COVID may transmit less efficiently in the spring and summer months. Right now, Australia and Singapore are experiencing high temperatures and low infection rates. But that's not the case everywhere.
Look at New Orleans. New Orleans has a terrible, explosive outbreak right now. And New Orleans is one of the warmest places in the United States right now as well.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the top infectious disease expert in the U.S., says the coronavirus will continue to do its own thing and that there's no guarantee the weather will come to the rescue. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
And the 2002-2003 epidemic of SARS eased over the summer months, although it's not clear if that was related to weather or coincided with tighter public health interventions.
I think some of what we see there in the summertime too is we tend to spread out more as well, and then that keeps us from infecting other people. We're just out, we're not stuck in. So maybe that'll help as well.
And I think we always talk about it. One of the things that we're afforded here in Montana is that we can get outdoors and we can still be spread out because, it's a pretty wide open space here. We have a lot of room between towns and counties and everything. So
agreed.
I know a lot of people are itching to get out there for summer. We just have to be safe about it.
Yet another reason we live here.
Yep, exactly. All right, we're going to take a quick break now in Montana this morning. The time is 6:39, but when we come back, being cooped up at home, worrying about the future could have your spirits down. But did you know what you could eat to give you a boost? Coming up, find out what foods can give you more energy and boost your attitude. But first, here's what's ahead on CBS This Morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, Dr. Tara Narula answers your questions on what the new normal might look like when America reopens. Also, hear why some renowned chefs are very worried about the survival of the restaurant industry. Plus, only on CBS This Morning, a poem by the Youth Poet Laureate to help us find hope and courage in these unsettling times. She's really great. And we continue to remember the lives of those taken from us by the coronavirus. We'll see you at 7.